Doughblade Kirito vs Death Angel Gabriel. It's showtime. So what's up guys, Fox in here. SAO Alicization War of Underworld episode 20. The final showdown. Death God versus the SAO Swordsman. The epic conclusion. So be sure to double that like, subscribe and ring the bell so YouTube actually sends you my new videos. Unfortunately, no sponsor, but do me a favor and watch my ReZero Season 2 review now up. It's got a cute bunny. This SAO episode titled The Night Sky Blade. Oh, Kirito making this blonde wet. What a change with the new blades added to this black swordsman look, by the way. At least a clear difference from behind. And aw, the cute dragons. Unfortunately, both of the dragons did take enough damage to die from Gabriel. So what happened? Kirito realized that the max life of both of the dragons was far beyond he could restore via sacred arts. Next best option? How about shrinking their max value small enough into little dragons to prevent their death? Then for Goddess Asuna, you guys were wondering where she was last episode. The plan as always from Kirito was a reckless one. He really only planned to stall Gabriel, really to buy them enough time for them to escape. Oh yeah, Goddess Asuna for the win. Time to take these Bowser steps to the floating island in the sky, which is supposed to give you a vibe of the OG Aincrad Castle. Naturally, all of these guys do have a time limit. Asuna originally mentioned they got about 8 minutes. While Asuna and Alice were running up, notice to the sides, you could actually spot the impenetrable wall for the entire underworld on the Dark Territory side. For Kirito here, thinking back to the Kiku message, Kiku mentioned 200 years, but keep in mind, that would be a quick estimate. In other words, it could be much longer. Alright, so unfortunately the anime cut out Kirito's thoughts here. He was actually saying goodbye to Asuna and Alice. On purpose, he didn't tell them about the 5 million times acceleration, otherwise they would stay and fight. His only priority was to get Alice and Asuna logged off. As for Gabriel, still with that Reaper of Souls line. Come on dude, already recovering his arm too. How about doing something about that crispy face? So Kirito, who are you? Of course Gabriel wasn't like Vasago who was obsessed or even interested in Kirito. Unfortunately this did get changed for the anime. I do swear the anime keeps on watering down anything related to Kirito. You did have Gabriel trying to invade Kirito's Floodlight directly. Similar to Goddess Shinan, Kirito had to ask himself, who was he? The hero of the underworld? No. A knight who protects the human realm? That's not it. The hero who defeated the SAO Death Game? No. The greatest VR player alive? Not that either. The Black Swordsman, a dual wielder? No. Kirito instead chose his own title, Kirito the Swordsman, really a callback to him calling himself that in early season 3, which really was meant to show a lot of development and growth for Kirito. Earlier he was struggling living up to this Black Swordsman persona, which of course the anime cut out completely. In the anime now you have Blonde Boy Yuji cheering on Kirito. I was now starting to feel they were overplaying this card. Anyway, Kirito versus Gabriel. Kirito actually noted that sword must be a divine object. It was supposed to be dark, as if space itself had been removed from existence. It was far beyond Vasago's chopper and its ability to absorb resources. As for Kirito's wings, I was super curious to see how the SAO anime would show this. Thinking back to the light novel, it seemed almost silly, especially after Kirito flying without them. But then for the anime, this actually works. The wings look almost exactly like they do for its fairy avatar. And it seems Kirito flying last episode seemed to confuse a lot of people. Perhaps they should have just switched to the fairy wings from the get-go. Then for Kirito generating all elements. Thanks Quinella. Normally some sort of terminal is required for sacred arts, like your fingers. During this time Kirito was using the air as terminals. But too bad, complete failure. Oh, Gabriel was too overpowered. Gabriel actually had the ability to absorb and drain slashes, thrusts, and anything involving elements. It is interesting to notice how his only weakness was related to anything involving him as a soldier, which is why Shinan was able to hurt him. So how generous of Gabriel. Kirito gets to have 3 minutes in heaven with him. He really wasn't a fan of not being able to taste Kirito's soul. He had gotten a small taste earlier, but now Kirito had encased himself in this transparent shell. That's no fun. As for Gabriel's upgrade, what did he steal? He actually noticed what Kirito had done, so why not get some wings too? Although it does make sense, this thing was originally his GGO jetpack. So he got an aerial fight with Black Thunder. Gabriel must be a Thor fan. The anime actually cut out Kirito trying to kick him but failing at it. I really loved how they showed Gabriel completely overpowering Kirito, no question. You could really tell that Gabriel had no doubts about winning this little dance. It was completely one-sided. Eventually, you even had Kirito trying to block the darkness with that shield wall. It did work the first time when trying to save Alice and the dragons, but this time Kirito was more weakened. Oh, and did someone say Swordsman Kirito? Nope, you got the Marco treatment. And what was this? Was Gabriel actually showing some emotion? You could feel it in the distance, a dragon just died. So freaking finally it comes out. Gabriel, the Angel of Death. What a demented image he has of himself. Like, I'm already gonna win, so why not just completely overkill it? It actually makes you wonder how godly other insane individuals would be in the underworld, like the Joker. Keep in mind, pretty much anything and everything Gabriel has done up until this point has been via his twisted incarnation. I know some of you have been confused about him using God Vector powers, but Gabriel's been way beyond that. Naturally, the anime skipped over Gabriel gradually figuring out how the underworld works. Recall Shasta? It all started there. Every moment and fight since then, Gabriel has been figuring it out, including the Bercoli fight. Anyway, you gotta love the dire look on Kirito's face, finally acknowledging that he's screwed up. You really should notice how you have Kirito going back to doubting himself pretty quickly. He brings up being a person that doesn't understand how others feel, which should have been a defining character flaw up until this point. It just sucks that he's referring to earlier issues that he struggled with that unfortunately the anime glanced over or completely cut out, especially in the previous mine scene. Hey, Blonde Boy Yujiro, coming back for the pep talk. So I really don't mind seeing Yujiro again, but it feels like they've been overusing him, especially with the anime adding additional Yujiro time. Either way, more important, Shinigami Gabriel. It really wasn't fair for Kirito comparing himself to him. They're nothing alike. Gabriel's supposed to be this man that doesn't feel any fear. But the truth is, fear and despair of death are emotions that Gabriel did share. Cut out here from the anime was that Gabriel actually kept on killing more people past Alicia. He kept on wanting to taste their souls, but he was never satisfied. Come on Gabriel, you're making Basago seem like a saint. And then the anime did not do it. This was the one Gabriel scene I was waiting for. Him ripping out Kirito's heart, and then biting it like a delicious ripe apple. Come on, I can't even call this watered down, they didn't even show it. This is so disappointing. Anyway, at the very least, what you've been waiting for, Golden Knight Kirito comes out. Double release recollection again. Oh yes, the ultimate underworld spirit bomb time. You got Goddess Shinen missing some limbs, bleeding out. Poor Leafa giving the last of her strength. Too bad the anime didn't show her with the countless sword stabs. Then the best underworld couple, Sheta and Iskan. Gotta send your energy too. I did like the shot of the Dark Knight without the helmet. Liz and Silica. Oh, we like Kirito. Barf. And of course, I know they're gonna use love for the subtitles too. Non-main character here, Klein. Come on, give this guy one line. Then Moonface, Mei, and Eugene together. Gotta represent. As for Tisa and Renly, these lovebirds do move quickly. Oh, what is over here? Lina, Senpai, and Roni? For Finatu, this scene really reminds me of the Fallen Dakida plus Papa Bercoli's death. For the Crimson Integrity Knight plus the Terrible 2, too bad the anime cut out their plotline. Even Selka one final time. Too bad she's not going to be able to say goodbye to Alice. And then the family and the two twins that Yujiro and Kirito stayed with in Zakaria. For the Swords Academy, notably their supervisor to the left. Hey, Elevator Girl! She prayed for one thing, that one day she would see the two young swordsmen again. I really did love this new anime edition, actually seeing some of the others from the Dark Territory side. From the goblins, the ogres, the giants, the merchants. If only the season 3 anime didn't rush through things, they could really flesh this out. Even an overview shot of the entire underworld is not that big at all. For Asuna and Alice, damn you guys are slow. Time to hit up the Stepmaster when you get back. Either way, their own energy contribution. It was super quick, but this was meant to show further growth from Alice, really going past her own struggles or questioning whether she was just a puppet created by Quinella. All the sacred spirit energy now belongs to Kirito. You really had this blanketed night sky here. This actually came from the thought of Yuju's dying words, as he spoke of the night sky, which of course became the name of Kirito's blade. The power of the Night Sky Blade is to absorb resources, but the greatest sacred energy doesn't come from the earth or sun. It comes from the power of the human heart, the power of hopes and wishes. Then for the cameos, Shasta plus Libya, Bercoli plus Quinella, and Cardano. This really got me tearing up a bit. A major important line is actually from Quinella. Oh, why is Kirito so strong after waking up? How does one forget the purple bag of XP he helped kill? You know, big scene in the first half of season 3? Getting into it, finally, Starburst Stream. How many years has it been? They probably should have slowed it down just to help with the impact. It is almost funny how people wrongly call Kirito overpowered. This moment is a perfect example. I mean, even at this point, he had his arm sliced off when it most counted. Thank you, Blonde Boy Yuju, for the save. Starburst Stream is a 16-hit combo, but here's an extra. 17 hits, Gabriel. Payback's a bitch. What a perfect death, a Gabriel Death Angel explosion. Funny how this actually gave me a vibe of Cornelia and her clown going crispy too. So really quickly, just to clarify Gabriel's finale, it wasn't just going boom. Kirito had actually stabbed his heart. He then sent the infinite energy of hopes and wishes into Gabriel's dead frozen heart. Oh yes, death by feels. As a nice little bonus, the Dark Territory side could finally see the sky and sun. Oh yes, thankfully Alice made it out. Log out complete. The bad news, the underworld acceleration kicking in. Sayonara. It looks like the Celestial players have made their mark. At first I was like, who is this? I totally didn't recognize you. You did have Silica afterwards, so that should have been Liz. Then Klein's bum ass. Damn, his place looks like a dump. What does it look like my place? For Agil, this should be the cafe, just the top floor. They even included Mei and Moonface. So far it seems like SAO Season 3 has avoided pissing off China and South Korea. For Lee Fanchinen, time for some food. Go get a jelly donut. Fun fact for them, both of them actually logged off before the acceleration kicked in due to loss of life. Alright, so getting back to Kirito, the sliced off arm recovered. This shot actually looks like Alice on the poster. Right here, you have Kirito saying a final goodbye to Yujo. But why? Keep in mind Yujo's soul had been infused with the Blue Rose Sword. He really had been working overtime pushing Kirito. Unfortunately, Yujo stopping Gabriel had finally consumed him at last. Good night, Blonde Boy Yujo. Then for Kirito at the end, World Alterer, stuck inside, cannot log out, trapped again. But oh my god, yes, Asuna stayed behind for Kirito, for him. I mean, screw everything else in this episode. This is probably the best part for me. Definitely cry time. So, how much did you enjoy the final fight for Kirito and the episode overall? How do you rate the Kirito fight compared to everything else in Season 3? I do have to admit I'm majorly disappointed there was no Death Angel munching on the red big heart. Before this, I was worried to see how the anime would show this. Would it be censored? Although at the same time, this could have been some amazing imagery. But no, they didn't even try. The second major thing they really needed to get right was the Spirit Bomb energy. It is so freaking annoying how people call Kirito overpowered or this god somehow, when he's constantly getting help from other people. At least for this finale, I do hope the episode clearly showed that. There's no way Kirito could have done this solo. And then the Starburst stream finally making a comeback. Honestly, I do want to like it more, but I don't think it's gonna top the first one. And don't get me wrong, animation-wise, this looks freaking gorgeous. Slowing it down some might have helped so you could actually taste the slices. Another thing I do have to give props to the anime is the look of Gabriel, the Death Angel. Unfortunately, overall, Gabriel has been a little meh, especially with how the anime has watered him down. But visually, they got this Angel of Death really right. From the opening, I was worried that it would just be this giant shadow creature. It looks like the green usage helped a lot. For one smaller thing, I'm really glad that the wings they use are really similar to his fairy avatar. It just makes sense. And then one of the smaller moments I really enjoyed was Broccoli and everyone appearing, giving some final advice to Kirito. Let go of your anger or whatever the Star Wars quote is. And then the cherry on top, Asuna treasuring Kirito over anything else. 200 years alone. Time to get busy. Hashtag bunny time. And for the worst thing, I'll be quick about it. Really all the stuff they cut out. Anything for SAO War of Underworld should have really been twice the length. For example, this episode, if the anime was adapting it better, they could have ended it with the cliffhanger of Gabriel ripping out Kirito's heart. But oh well, perhaps in a different timeline, there is this much better adapted SAO anime, with every anime YouTuber loving it. It is sad to say that the SAO Elucidation adventure is pretty much done, which is why, personally, I wasn't really rushed to get Kirito unpotatoed. I am now curious. I woke up at 3 AM for this video. But anyway, bonus question. Now that Gabriel is done, who's been your favorite SAO Season 3 villain? Post the bastard below. Don't forget to subscribe. I know a lot of you aren't. I got some juicy SAO and ReZero videos coming, on top of reviews. And I'll see you guys later.